Hey guys, the Super Review Show for another episode of Why You Should Listen To. This is the show where I break down artists on Spotify that have low Spotify streaming numbers, or the artist is that great. Definitely check out the artist no matter what. Here we are today talking about Sting. Yes, Gordon Sumner, guys. Sting. You know that guy? He was in the Police. He's every breath you take. That guy? We're talking about his solo career today, right here on the Super Review Show. Quick backstory, really quick. Now, I have a running gag with my friends and my family alike because of one man's idiocy. Simply put, he thought that Sting was a solo act his entire life. And I kid you not, this man swore up and down with me at one point, who will remain nameless. He said to me, "This is Sting, right?" I said, "No, this is the Police. The Police are a band of 3 members that ruled the early 80s as far as the new wave sound goes. Sting was a solo act after that. It's not that hard, except when you're wrong. Except the fact that you are wrong. Just saying." So now, whenever I talk about Sting, we always say, "Oh, guys, you guys know that Sting was in the Police?" We're like, ha. We always have a running gag about that, about cops and police officers. And we respect the law. I had the Super Review Show. But it's just a running gag with us here with that Sting was in the Police. That's my backstory for the day. And but I swear, this guy swore up and down. He's like, "This is Sting, right?" He almost got into a fist fight with me over this. That's how insane this guy was. And he was a wedding DJ at one point, too. Can't fix stupid. Just saying. No, but today we're talking about Sting's solo career. Sting is one of those artists that, after the Police break up in 1983, early, maybe late part of 84, I forget, because I know that they toured on the Synchronicity tour, of course. Sting went out solo, and he put out a bunch of albums in his solo career. I don't have any of those albums on vinyl, unfortunately. My friend Christian does. He's a big Sting fan. He's seen him like 3 times live and stuff like that too. I've saw him once. In fact, this is the shirt that I got with him. It's a great shirt. How can I forget that? But no, in all seriousness though, Sting was one of those artists that, he had a lot of success in the early 90s too, with like the album Ten Sumner's Tale, with If I Ever Lose My Faith in You, Fields of Gold. I mean, you want to talk about The Shape of My Heart? These are that was a big album for him too back then. Aside from Sting playing regular Police songs like Every Breath You Take, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, King of Pain, Wrapped Around Your Finger, Can't Stand Losing You, So Lonely, so great. But no, needless to say though, Sting as a solo act, he had a lot of success. I mean, Englishmen in New York, guys, and it's a great song. We were lucky to see him at Jones Beach actually playing that song live, and he was like, "This is one of my favorite places." It's a terrible British accent, but he's like, "This is one of my favorite places to play the song Englishmen in New York," because he's at Jones Beach, and it's a song about New York City. So there you go. Great song. Even like "Shape of My Heart." Fields of Gold, as I mentioned. The guy has been at the Bridge. He just put an album a couple years ago, too, for his Broadway play, if I'm not mistaken. That was on Broadway at one point. It's like the Bridge or whatever. And now he's performing dates with Billy Joel across the country. He's doing like stadium shows, like one night only, 2 icons one night. There we go. How about that? What's a better deal than Sting and Billy Joel, guys? The two are really good friends as well. If they come to the tri-state area, I'm going to see if I can get tickets for my friend Christian and I, because we've seen Sting like 3. He's seen him 3 times. I've seen him twice. Great performer overall. He performs a lot of Police hits, but he also performs his solo act too. He put out a brand new song that I think Christian heard live when he saw him recently too. My dear friend. So Sting, it's funny. A lot of people are turned off by his voice. I think his voice and his solo career was very different too. His voice and his voice kind of got a little bit more mature than it was in the Police catalog. Like you listen to stuff like "Bring on the Night" compared to "Fields of Gold," his voice is a little bit deeper. His presence a little bit like it's a little bit more like there kind of thing, if you know what I mean. But needless to say, though, Sting is just a musical genius. I mean, he still puts out music to this day. He's still progressively putting out more and more albums or songs. He's probably one of the best solo acts out there to come out of a band. Truthfully, I mean, you don't talk about like there's not too many examples of his situation like he was in a band at one point and then he went solo and he had a pretty successful solo career too. But needless to say though, why should you listen to Sting? Why should you listen to Sting? Well, here's the deal. First and foremost, Sting was in the Police, and the Police was a band that he was in. That's a totally separate issue too. But needless to say, that Sting's solo career To me, it doesn't hold up as much as the Police's catalog, because the Police, they're just iconic. Like, they were just one of the most iconic groups out there, needless to say, of all time. Sting is a great songwriter, is a great singer, is a great, objectively speaking. I mean, some people, I hate Sting, whatever. Like, I don't know how you could say that personally, because all artists subjective, like I've said before, but he's one of the best, truthfully, to produce songs that are just so, and his guitar riffs. I go on about his career in general, but why should you listen to Sting? Well, if you're looking for an artist that has a little bit more of some jazz elements or some other type of elements that were not really in his initial break onto the music scene, I would definitely check out his solo career. I mean, like I said, Englishman in New York, Fred Giel is another one. Like I said, Fields of Gold. A lot of the Ten Sumner's Tale stuff is really good. Like, he has stuff like he'll play stuff like Fields of Gold. Like I said, he'll play stuff like Shape of My Heart. He'll even play If I Ever Lose My Faith in You live. That's a great cut. But there's really great songs of his in his catalog. Oh, how can I forget? Russians. At the time when U.S. and Russia had a lot of problems because of the Cold War, he wrote a song called Russians. He also had not Shape of My Heart. I forget. It was on the same album as well. It was on the album the Blue Turtles. I forget the name of the album off the top of my head. Forgive me. But no. But needless to say, Sting is a great artist. If you have not seen him live yet, he's going to be live in 2025 with Billy Joel. Catch him if you can. He's a really great artist in general. So that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Why you should listen to it. Thanks so much for tuning in, as always. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages as well. Facebook and Instagram, simply at The Super Review Show. But for all of your why you should listen to videos and many more, keep locked on The Super Review Show. And the J-Man, it's off the rock. And remember, guys, Sting was in the Police.